Barbie is, without question, the most popular doll of all time. Since being introduced in 1959, she's gone on to transcend toy lines into a cultural phenomenon, and has continued to prove more than relevant in the 2020s, with the recent feature film breaking domestic box office records. In 1991, while the NES was certainly drawing closer to the end of its shelf life, it was still immensely popular, but more prominently among boys. I mean, look at the games of the time. Everything had cars, guns, explosions, blowing shit up, and sports. Of course, not every game was a testosterone fest. I mean, the most popular game in the fucking world was Super Mario Bros., and it didn't have any of those things I just mentioned. And there were probably a lot more girls playing games than Nintendo realized. But I remember growing up during this era, and video games were more associated with boys at the time. So in an effort to get more girls into gaming, High-Tech Expressions released Barbie on the NES. The safe choice was made in making this a platformer. It's simple strategy. You get all the girls into a Barbie game in the most accessible genre of the time, and they'll in turn go out and buy other games. But was the game good enough to tap into this less explored demographic and create some kind of impact? Let's see. First of all, the plot involves Barbie going to sleep and dreaming of the day she wants to have the next day, like going to the beach, the mall, and the soda shop, with the ultimate goal of acquiring a gown for the ball. It's like Cinderella without the domestic abuse. So yeah, like I said, it's a pretty standard platformer on the surface. You run around hopping on platforms, avoiding enemies, collecting items, and getting from the left side of the screen to the right. And because the game takes place in a dream, it's the perfect excuse to have basically anything you can think of as enemies, like kites, tennis balls, and hamburgers. But this is Barbie, not G.I. Joe. You're not gonna mow down these weird-ass, deadly, inanimate objects with guns blazing, or fisticuffs, or stomping anyone out, or any of that shit. So Barbie combats all this with her friends, like dogs, dolphins, and hamburgers? Wait, weren't these enemies too? You trigger these friends by tossing charms at them, by holding the B button to control their trajectory. The longer you hold it, the longer it stays up in the air, and then it arcs down. It's not perfect by any means, but after a little getting used to, you get a pretty good feel for aiming the charms. There are 3 types: bows, diamonds, and hearts, each of which trigger a specific type of action. The diamonds are your most frequently used charm. They'll trigger a friend to move, the bow will make them stop, and the heart is essentially a specialty move that only works in specific instances. You toggle each of these charms with the select button, and a successful shot with your charm will lead you to your friends handing items to you, transforming into moving platforms, or opening doors, essentially adding a puzzle element to the game. You get a health meter represented by the Z's, because, this is in Barbie's dream. They're not going to kill her. The game over means you wake up. Imagine how traumatizing it would be for a little girl to see Barbie fucking die. Anyway, you collect the Z's for health, but you can also refill health with these yellow bees, or certain items that fit the theme of a certain stage, like pearls when you're in the underwater stage, for example. You can also become invincible for a short period by collecting these bee charms. And there are random items that award points and nothing else, so you can grab these for funsies if you like. So while this whole puzzle element gives the game a unique flavor, there's not a lot of thought put into the level design. It's very generic. Boss battles are plain too. It just seems like a lazily designed, let's get this out the door type deal. The controls are responsive, but the detection is questionable with the platforming. Like, how am I not making this jump right here? You usually don't have to worry about this because there's not a lot of instances where you're in a deadly situation. It's more annoying than anything else. But it does become troubling in the final stage, where you have these small platforms, and falling into the conveyor belt on the floor sends you all the way back to the beginning of the stage. And the entire stage is made up of you platforming over this one belt. So you have to be very precise. On top of that, your sprite is huge, so you're a big target for hazards. It would have really been nice to be able to duck. And on top of that, you're slow as hell, with the exception of the underwater stage, but this isn't the biggest deal because the game is slow-paced in general, so you're never really in danger due to your lack of speed, but the sluggish pace takes a chunk out of the fun factor level. That being said, if the target audience is in fact girls who are essentially newcomers to platformers, a slower pace is more ideal. But if that's the case and you want the game to be easier, fix the platforming. So yeah, this is a very flawed and pretty empty game, but I don't agree with the criticisms that it got at the time about it not being an appropriate genre. Yeah, this could have been a dress-up simulator, but there's no reason why it must be. It's not like this could have been any platformer and they just slapped Barbie into it and made everything pink. The mechanics were certainly built with Barbie in mind, and the variety of scenes and corresponding outfits are part of what makes the Barbie brand what it is. I just wish the whole thing was better executed. So the game starts off with a cutscene of Barbie heading to bed while pontificating all the shit she wants to do the following day, one of which is to go to the mall to buy an outfit. So she falls asleep and we're transported to the first stage, the mall. You start out in the sporting goods store where tennis rackets smack tennis balls back and forth. Throw a diamond to the dog on the other end of the screen to bring him over and get the ball out of your way. Grab the bee up here for some health, carefully maneuver your way between the balls, grab the perfume for some points, and feed the toucan a diamond so it'll give you a lift up here. Jump into this platform to find the hidden invincibility, and plow through until you get to the toy store. Feed the toucan to get a ride down here, just watch these beach balls that come rolling your way, and pick up the health. Feed the cat a diamond to push this health to the ground for you, and be ready to jump over all the kites that come in. You'll reach another cat at the wall here, feed it continuously to get it to close up this door to block the beach balls, and you'll end up at the boutique. Watch out for these hats that fly upward, and these tiny shoes that walk along the floor, and feed the cat to push this health to the floor. Jump to maneuver your way between all this floating shit, and the boss is soon after, an outfit that floats around, kicking its shoes at you. Toss your charms at it, eliminating the articles of clothing one by one like a game of strip poker, preferably shoes first, because after that it won't even attack you. After the disrobing is complete, you're done with the level. Now you're at the Galleria. Wait for the openings before passing these fountains, grab the white bee here if you can time it right, and then after 50 of these fountains, you'll get some fish out of water. The first ones will flop straight up, so it's essentially the same shit as the fountains. But then you'll get some that flop at an angle, so wait for them to flop before moving on, and wait for the next one to flop in the opposite direction. There's an invincibility here that will help you plow through the next run of fish and fountains, and soon after you're in the next area, which has a waterfall segment. Wait for the water to stop before passing through, just be aware of these platforms that blend right into the background. The tiles are a little different. After a bunch of these waterfalls, you'll get some more fountains, and then you're in the food court. Jump over these rolling barrels, so yeah, we're channeling Donkey Kong, or trying to anyway. Use the plant to spring your way up for this bubble, which is an invincibility with the bubble swinging around you for extra attack range, which honestly doesn't help that much because there's a good stretch with no enemies before you reach the pizza parlor, and the boss, a quartet of pizza ovens. They'll fire pizzas your way while these trays will float back and forth. Use them to climb up and fire at the doors. You have to hit each one twice to close it. Just keep an eye on the pizzas and jump over them. After closing all 4 ovens, you're done with the stage. You'll get a cutscene where Barbie throws some coins in the fountain, and Toucan Sam comes flying by with a new dress for her. Now it's off to the beach, where Barbie dreams of being a mermaid, so now we've got a swimming stage. Grab the star back here if you like, it's just points, and swim on. Watch out for the jellyfish that try to get you, and all this shit that floats across the screen. Wait for the opening and move on. Grab this pearl down here for health, a bubble in the bees, and swimming into this cove over here that leads to another star, if you so please. Feed the seahorse a diamond to grab the elusive pearl down here. Head this way for another pearl, and then feed this fish a diamond to get it out of your way. At the fork, the top path leads to another pearl, then maneuver your way between the shells that float back and forth here. Grab the stars along your way, and you'll get to another seahorse. Feed it a diamond so it can grab this star for you, and there's a hidden area here for some hidden goodies. It's mostly point refills, so they're probably hidden stars, but there's presumably a pearl in here too because you get a health increase. Back on the main path, grab the stars on both sides of the fork, avoid the shells, and swim back here into this nook for another pearl. There'll be a shit ton of stars spelling out Barbie. Just watch out for the snapping turtles along the way, and you'll swim out of the sandcastle. And you've got these tornadoes that come out of the towers. Watch out for them, and feed the seahorse to get the pearl. Grab the bubble invincibility, and soon after you'll find a dolphin. Feed it a heart, and it'll plow through the doors, and soon after you'll reach the boss. A long jellyfish that fires what I can only assume are its eggs. Stay out of its trajectory, fire at the lock over here to release the royal crabs, the jellyfish vanishes, and you're done with the stage, as simple as that. You'll get a cutscene of Barbie feeding the clam and getting a bracelet, or a necklace or some shit. It's an accessory to her gown. Now Barbie moves on to the soda shop. Grab the orgy mask back here, it just gives you points, so it's very optional. And climb up here for some records, which fill your health. Just make sure to get them before the magnet does. Grab the Z for some health, and then you've got this giant soda fountain flooding the place, I guess. Feed the ice cream cone a heart, and it'll plug up the spout so you can pass. Grab the hidden record up here, and use the floating cars to get up here for the mask. The soft drink is alive and wants you to die, so it fires straws upwards and lids to the sides. Stay up high to avoid them, and pass by when the opening presents itself. Feed the ice cream to get another record, and if you want to get to this record down here, hop on the car until it drifts down here below the shelf. Just watch out for the giant ladybugs that fall from the ceiling. Now feed this hamburger with eyes a heart to shut down the soda, and jump up here for a hidden record. Jump up here for another one, and then feed the burger to bump one more down to you. These roller skates fire wheels or something at you. Jump over them, and then feed this bag of popcorn a diamond so it knocks this record into an accessible area. Feed the burger here to shut off the soda, and slip between the skates to get the mask. Feed this soda bottle a heart to give you a boost over this larger blockading bottle, and grab the hidden Z behind this B. Jump up here for another record, and you'll reach the boss, 5 soda fountains. Smack the handles to shut each of them down. Once you get some cleared, you'll be able to stay in that area and simply smack the other handles from here. After shutting them all off, it's on to stage 5, continuation of the soda shop. Climb up on this burger when the bun is flying off the patty, and grab the record. The fries will fly out of the trays either straight up or at an angle, very similar to the fish flopping from earlier. Grab another record off the giant burger, and use the spoon as a springboard to get the invincibility up here, which will make walking through the line of fries a whole lot easier. You'll then meet up with the boss, 3 scoops of ice cream. They each fire a cherry and a cup of soda. Spam attack them one at a time to minimize the amount of their attacks, as well as better efficiency with repeat shooting. Once you've got your target, spam attack, and jump when the shake shows up because it will knock you down to the floor. Once you take them all down, it's on to stage 6, the final stage. Hop on the music notes and scale your way across this massive conveyor belt, which will send you all the way back to the beginning of the stage. And since the entire stage is this stretch, it really sucks to fall onto it, especially if you're really close to the end. Watch out for the falling giant quarters. Jump up to grab the record right after the quarter passes by. Watch the falling quarters in front of you. Grab the loose floating notes that are off the staff, and be careful, as these small platforms drop after you land on them. So move quick until you land on this record where you can stop and wait for the break in the quarter drops ahead of you. After a lot of this, you'll get to land and you'll reach the boss, a jukebox. It'll send music notes up into the air, which cascade down on you. Avoid them and jump continuously on these coins. Jumping on them will get them spinning, and hop off only to dodge the notes. There are 3 of these coins, and you gotta get them all spinning at once. So once you get the second one spinning, go back to the first one and give it a little fresh spin so it doesn't die off while you're working on the last one. After getting enough spinach, you play the jukebox, I guess, and you're done. You then get a cutscene of Barbie creating a stairway of records that leads up to the tower or something. And in her new dress, she ever so freaking slowly approaches Ken, and they dance. And that wraps up this game, and that wraps up this edition of Aqualung's Game Reviews. See you next time.